Vallence Rambharat, Hunter Search and Rescue Team. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Anton. It's a pleasure to be on Tobago Updates this morning to share our knowledge with respect to our team. I want to wish the Stewarts in Buku happy anniversary as well from Hunter Search and Rescue Team. Buku happens to be my favorite place in Tobago.
Indeed. Certainly. All right. Well, as we get started this morning, we want you to give our viewers a sense before we dive on into what might be the obvious in these circumstances. Tell us a little bit about this organization, the Hunters Search and Rescue Team.
Well, Hunter's Search and Rescue Team was founded in February of 2021. There was a search in Trinidad for a young lady, Andrea Barrett, and we had asked the then Commissioner of Police for permission to join in the search. We thought hunters would have contributed immensely to the search because of our knowledge in terms of how we navigate the terrain and the vegetative regions of Trinidad and Tobago. And he acceded to the request, and we conducted a 3-day search until her body was found in Heights of Arepo. Subsequent to that, we continued our way, and I just want to say we are 32 strong now. We have members both in Trinidad and Tobago, because I saw in the press where they said that Hunter's Search and Rescue Team is coming from Trinidad. But all along the way, we've had 2 members from Tobago, Kester Jerry. People in Tobago wouldn't know him by Kester Jerry. So his neck from Moriah. And Verena Erhardt, the fisher folk down in King Peters Bay, and they are our 2 members in Tobago. And we've had a presence in Tobago for quite a while. I don't know if you recall Atiba Williams in October of 2021, fisherman who went missing and his boat was found in Canoe. We came up and we did some diving in and around the Canoe area to try to see if we could have located him. We were unsuccessful. And sometime in October again, 2023, there was a young man missing. His name is Richard Boodoo. A reward was offered by Crime Stoppers for information. He was from the Lowlands area. Easy Breezy Hotel was the last place he was seen there. And we came up. Actually, we came with the police, the anti-kidnapping unit and the Tobago police. And we do have the capacity to go undercover. We searched in Tobago for 5 days undetected in that mission. And recently we came up on the oil spill and we volunteered our services. So I want to tell Tobago our services are free. We are a non-profit organization, and our real cause is to assist families when their loved ones go missing. But Anton, we've been
Julien. But I know you dealt with Anton with the arrangement. Julien,
yeah,
yes.
Julien. We've been dealing with Tobagonians from the start. There was a lady, an elderly lady from Tobago, Scarborough. She called us in January of 2022. Her adopted son went on went up to San Souci in Trinidad with some friends on an excursion, and he drowned. And on the 6th day, she called us. And I recall us leaving 2 o'clock in the morning from our homes to catch the low tide at 6 a.m. And by 2:30 the afternoon on the 7th day, we found his body. And then there's an ongoing case in Tobago. There's a gentleman from Crown Point. His brother is mentally compromised. He lives in Trinidad, and he reached out to us, and we were able to pick him up at the airport, the guy from Tobago, and transport him to Port of Spain to be with us to try to locate his brother in Port of Spain. His name is Kyle Potts. So I've tried out the name there, so anybody who could come across Kyle Potts in Trinidad, we're willing to assist.
All right. What I want to get from you, and we want to move forward to what is the current mission that this Hunters Search and Rescue Team are assisting with. We are aware that we have a missing persons report in the person of Ishmael Roberts, certainly out there, and this has been since just in and around about February 28, 2024. I want you to give us a little bit about the rule and the process that has taken place for your involvement presently in this search.
Yeah, well, in cases of missing persons, what we do is that if the family reaches out to us, we would try to assist. In Trinidad, where the bulk of our members are, I mean, it's easy to move within the island. But in this case, it's Tobago, and it involves some logistics in terms of transportation, accommodation. So Ishmael's father, Dave Raphael, would have reached out to us and had a conversation in terms of his missing son. And I think what touched our hearts was when he said that his mother and grandmother and a friend, 3 women, and this was just around International Women's Day, and to picture 3 women going out there every single day since he disappeared or went missing, it was really touching to us. And we told Dave we'll come up and try to assist in locating his son. Now, the search is a bit tricky in the sense that he could be anywhere. He just went missing, and we have had no leads. His father indicated that he was unable to access any CCTV footage. And so it's speculation at this point in time. We know he's a diabetic and insulin dependent. And if he is without medication, he would go into a coma, and there are consequences, fatal consequences involved. So that is one option. And the other option the father has indicated is that he was a state witness and that he was threatened, and maybe threats were carried out, so we don't know. So the outcome may not be the one we're looking for, but I would tell you this, Julian, what we've learned. I just want to tell you something a lady told me a couple of days ago. It's been 15 years since her loved one went missing. And she told me that every single time she walks the street, 15 years after, she's looking for her loved one. And that's how painful. It's a never-ending pain. And sometimes when you recover a body, that is what closure is about. It's the better of the 2 pains.
Yes.
And you're able to get over in some form of fashion when you're able to have a body to give that person a dignified funeral, and you know what happened to the person. So in this case, we have to help the family. And I'm appealing to Tobagonians this morning, because our search will resume just after I leave the studio. If it is that you know something or you would have spotted something, just jog your memory and see if you could assist us. Call any one of the police stations. Call 555-800-TIPS, or our number at 799-1453, and give us some information which could lead us to locating Ishmael Roberts. It's very important, because sometimes people see something, and it's only if they're reminded or prodded or on a program like yours, they're able to say, okay, you know, Mr. Rambharat, I saw so and so, I think I could help you, and you could give us a lead. But we want to really try our best to locate Mr. Ishmael Roberts.
So tell us, where would the search be taking place for the benefit of our viewers and listeners? Because I like the call that you've made. If you have seen something, you know, you might have taken it for granted, and you're very correct. Interviews and discussions like these help to jog persons' memories a bit. So I want you to remind our viewers as well, where would the search be taking place today?
Well, we're focusing on West Tobago, and the last place he was seen was in Scarborough. He went to the bank. He worked CPEP. He went to draw his salary at the bank just over the road, somewhere around here, right? And that's the last time he was seen. So what we do is that we normally would search from the area last seen and work our way outwards. So we would have covered areas as far as Annisville, Plymouth, down in Bethel and thing yesterday, and so we resume our search to continue the expanded search areas. So once you have information or you recall something, just call the police. I know you have inspector with you on next from Scarborough Police Station, so you know, just call Scarborough Police Station, or the home station for this one is the Chevron Road Police Station.
All right. What would you say has been the general span of time, if you were to compare how short it took in terms of being able to come up upon and to be able to get to the point of identify. We found the individual, and what has probably been your longest search in terms of a little more detail in the mix.
But that in Trinidad, we were able to recover our body after 40 days. And
40.
40
Right.
days. And of course, it was in an advanced stage of decomposition. And and to conduct a 5 day, sorry about that, to conduct a 5 day search involves a lot of resources. So what we normally would do is go 5 days straight, take a break, revisit, conduct a 2 day search, revisit. Currently, we dealing with 2 cases in Trinidad. It's been 25 days since Akisha Worrell, a young 32-year-old mother of 2. She's been missing from the Pity Valley area, and as soon as we get back to Trinidad, we have to go back on that case. And then you have 5 missing fishermen in Cedros. It's been quite a few days now, and as soon as we get back to Trinidad, we want to get back and rejoin and see how we could help these families. So really, Julian, is we don't ever leave a case.
Right.
We don't ever leave a case.
You ensure that you work it right through.
Work it right. And so Dave Raphael, the father, had asked me, because we leave later on this evening to head home to Trinidad, and he says, is this the end of it? You are my hope. And I said, no.
Yes.
If we need to take a break and come back, then we have 2 members in Tobago who will continue to work with him and continue until we could sort out our home business in Trinidad, because we have families, and get back up here as soon as we can to continue.
So certainly the commitment remains no matter what until you get to that point of bringing some level of comfort. I'd like you to also, just to give the viewers that sense. I know you mentioned persons can reach out and connect with if required. I know you said you're an NGO organization, and that was just as you mentioned there in your last response. The question that came to mind for me is, this must take a lot of resources to make things happen. Where do you get that level of support to ensure that you can continue to be sustained? Because I honestly thought, before you mentioned it there earlier, that this was a paid engagement. When a family calls, that they pay you to assist in some way, form, or fashion. So how are you able to fund those operations? And yes, feel free to use the medium here if you want to call for people who willing to contribute.
And I'm always making that call. We are largely self-funded organization. We depend on our pockets, and we provide the fuel. We do have a corporate sponsor on board in KFC, and I want to say thanks very much to them, because even yesterday, when we were finished together with the family at 6 p.m., we were able to come across the KFC in Scarborough and get some nice sandwiches to have for dinner. And so we have them on board. And we do have some sponsors who come on board, SNS Supermarket, 4 locations in Trinidad. And in Tobago, if it is that you want to come on board, you just get on our Facebook page. We're on Instagram. And our number is 7991453 to assist. We've been saying to people that we will come out and help. We're not looking at your background or your economic background. We come out to help regardless of color, creed, religion, or the circumstances under which the person went missing. Our motto is Closure Matters, and we say to these families, reach out to us. You may have no money. We will still come and help. But I want to say to you this morning that Dave Raphael did assist us with some of our transportation needs, and one, meals in between, and we thankful for this. And sometimes the family are able to help us, and we pay some and they pay some, and we get the job done. We are an organization where we make a little go a long way. And we're very frugal in how we spend money, and we want to ensure that we continue to assist families. Julian, we've been in operation in three years now. February, we were 3 years old. And there is a need for such a service in Trinidad and Tobago. We've published our work. Our work is out there. And persons who drive policy must must understand that there has come the time for an organization as ours to be part of the framework for something that is national. And lately I've been making the call. Why not have a national search and rescue team for Trinidad and Tobago? But I think Tobago is okay. I've seen the work of Alan Stewart with Tima, and I am impressed, right? But there are different aspects because I haven't seen them on the ground helping Raphael look for his son. So they need to expand, and we're offering training to those search volunteers in Tobago who need to be trained, who could take this search thing to a different level, at Tobago level, and improve upon it. But there must be, and I've been making this call, Julian, for a dedicated national search and rescue team that could come to the aid of families within minutes, right? Within minutes. Our model is one. You have a template. You can now follow that model. You have experienced personnel with us, bring them on board, and let us contribute to have a national search and rescue effort in the country. There's a need for it. Julian, we are out on a almost weekly basis.
Yes.
It started off slow, and as people got to know about us, we've been out there. You know, we came up for the oil spill as well, eh? And
yes,
that's part
I recognize that that's another area,
Yeah.
In terms of, I don't know where do you all find time in between keeping up with the kind of efforts. And I think one of our viewers said it very nicely this morning, Rena Allen. I always thought that the organization was older, such an incredible contribution in such a short space of time.
Yeah.
So where do you find the time in between that in terms of search and rescue to still also volunteer and offer those services outside of rescue missions?
Julian, when we looked at the oil spill, right? We train, we internationally train, we certified now. Okay. The oil spill provided an opportunity apart from, all right, it provided an opportunity for training. All right. So we wanted to come up to Tobago and learn about how to handle an oil spill, how you prepare yourself to enter a contamination zone, how you work in a contamination zone, how you exit a contamination zone. And the opportunity was there. Yes, we did mop and scrape oil and assist in cleaning up the marine environment and the seacoast to try for Tobago to return to its pristine glory. But inside there, and then the key thing also is volunteerism.
Yes.
And I know Tobago was well organized, but it provided an opportunity for both young and elderly folks to come out and put in a 2 cents worth. Is our island. Patriotism is about belonging to something. So if you belong to Tobago, it was an opportunity to come and assist in the cleanup exercise, right?
Certainly, that is
and so
warmly welcome.
We promote volunteerism at all levels, and we encourage it. And then we say to ourselves, it is an learning opportunity. You have to be lifelong learners to survive today. And therefore, it was an opportunity to learn something, to help your island and to, get along.
Certainly. And just before we close this interview, I'd want you to remind our viewers out there the search mission that will continue today. Just remind us where the search will take place and those continued efforts as you seek to really bring some closure. I find you have described it in the best way possible to really seek to bring some closure, most importantly for the family and, of course, to aid the authorities in the work that they continue to do. So just remind us about that mission that you will be heading out on again today.
Right. So if you see us out there, we will be in the Signal Hill area, the Spring Garden area, the Lambo area today. And we want to head down to the Cove area. Although that area was searched, we still want to go in and see if anything was missed and progress towards the Crown Point area. And so if you see us out there, just hail us out, stop, say hello. If you have some information, talk to us. Call us at 799-1453 or 800 Tips, call Scarborough Police Station, Chauvin Road Police Station. Pass on the information and we'll act upon it immediately.
All right. Thank you very much there, Vallence Rambharat, team leader for the Hunters Search and Rescue Team. And certainly we want to say commendations going out there for such a short space of time. You're really making your contribution even as an NGO. And we do certainly note that consideration should be given at the national level for the establishment. And your model seems to be working in several ways, bringing some resolution to a number of the areas. So certainly we want to say commendations. And we are really looking forward at least to getting some results and bringing some level of closure in the circumstances. All right, viewers, once again, we want to thank you so much for continuing to choose the Tobago Updates morning show. And at this point, we remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.